In this video lecture, we will study how to use Microsoft Excel by creating a simple worksheet exercise, and as we work on this exercise, we will gradually learn the following Excel operations. Number 1, merging cells. Number 2, copying using fill handle. Number 3, right fill. And number 4, fill down, followed by formatting cells. And using the sum function, the next is the auto sum, and the last one is creating and applying borders. This is the exercise that we are going to do. So this worksheet contains the expenses of ABC Company containing the first quarter of 2024, expenses for utilities, wages, rent, supplies, and the total for each month from January up to March. All right, so let's start doing this exercise. To start this activity, the first thing that we have to do is to analyze the worksheet. So as you can notice, the worksheet is made of 5 columns, starting from column A and ends at column E. So therefore, there are 5 columns. It also starts with row 1 and ends at row 12. So these cell ranges defines the area of our data. So we need these cell ranges so that we know what cells do we need to merge. So since we already know the ranges of data that we need to merge, let's now select the column A, first row, up to column E. So I am doing the selection by clicking my mouse using the left key and then dragging it until I reach the column E. And then from here, we will go to the Home tab and then select Merge and Center. So click this command so that we can merge the selected cells. Same goes with the second row. Select this one up to column E and then merge. And then we will type here the name of our worksheet or the title of our worksheet, which is ABC Company. And then followed by expenses of first quarter. And then next, we will write down here a label containing what will be the expenses that is covered for this quarter. So starting from January up to March. Since you have already encoded January, we're not going to encode the February and March. We will just use the fill handle of the cell pointer by hovering on it and then clicking and then dragging it to the right side. And then once the March month appeared, we will release our left mouse button. And there you go. And then at the bottom, we'll write here the utilities, followed by the water and electricity. We will also include the wages, rent, supplies, food, and office. And then we will fix the sizes of each column. For column A, we will make the column width a bit larger so everything will fit on the width of this column. So right click, choose column width, and let's set the size about 14. And for January and March, we will be selecting these 3 columns and then set as well the column width of this for about 20. And then we will turn these column titles to bold and, and place it at the center by going into the Home tab and clicking the center alignment. Okay, then we will also turn the utilities to bold. Same goes with the wages, the rent, and supplies. And then we will put an indentation to the water and electricity to emphasize that these 2 items are under utilities. We will select the water and electricity And then from the alignment, we will increase and then. Same goes with food and office. It should be under the supply. So we will add or increase the indention. Okay. Then now let's type the amount of each item enumerated in the columns of expenses. Let's begin with water. So let's say we have 1,500 and same goes with February up to March. Since the amount are similar for February and March, we're not going to type 1,500 over and over again. Instead, we will be using the fill handle and then drag it until we reach the March. There you go. Same goes with electricity. It contains 3,500 and we have the same amount for February up to March. So this time let's try the fill right. So let's select the empty cells up to March and then from our keyboard we will press the control key together with the R. So we will fill the cells at the right side of the active cell. Let's go first with the wages. For wages we have 150,000 and the amount is same with February and March. We will do the same process. Select and then on your keyboard, press Ctrl R. For rent, we have 12,000 and same goes with the February and March. So we'll just use the Ctrl R. And for food, we have 5,000. So we can use either the fill handle or the fill right command. Okay, there you go. And for office, let's write here 12,500 and select the empty cells that will contain the same value and then on your keyboard press Ctrl R. Okay, there you go. Next is we will total each expenses for each month. Okay, let's start with January. So let's use the sum. So I'm going to type here equals and then write the sum and then open. So this is what we call the summation function. And then we select the cells that we want to be included in the summation and then close parentheses and then enter. Okay, so we will do the same thing here, equals sum open parenthesis and then select everything, but it becomes tedious as we repeat and repeat this process over and over again. So what we can do, since the first column is the same as the second column, it has to take the summation of all the items above, we can just use the fill handle and it would be easier for us to finish it right away. Okay, and the next is we have to compute the total of each expenses. Let's say for example, for water, we will be computing this entire row. Same goes with electricity and for the rest of the items. Okay, so we will write here total, and then this time let's try using the auto sum. So auto sum can be found right here. Under the home tab, we have here the auto sum. So just click the auto sum and then press enter. Right away, you have now the result. And since we will be doing the same thing for the succeeding cells, we can just apply the fill down. So select all the cells where you want to apply the same summation and then on your keyboard press Ctrl together with D. So you have to press these two keys at the same time, CTRL or Ctrl D, and there you go. So as you notice, we have a 0 here. It shows 0 because we have nothing in this row. So we can just delete this one. Okay, and then let's turn this total to bold. Same goes with here, and let's add here total. Okay, next, let's apply cell formatting. So on our example, you can see here that we have what we call PHP symbol, which indicates that this is a Philippine peso. When you add letters to a cell containing numbers, so let's type here PHP, and then we write here 1500, same goes with here, PHP, let's say just 500, and we want to add these two numbers. Since these two numbers contains letters, we will not be able to compute this because Excel knows that these cells does not contain pure numbers, and therefore it will not be able to compute the numbers inside of these cells because it contains letters as well. So let's try. Sum, open, and then close, and then it shows 0. Okay? So this is not the way or the proper way of formatting your cells. Okay? So how can we achieve adding PHP symbol to our cell? Okay, so let's go back to our exercise. So what we'll do is to select all the cells. After selecting, we go to our number command group. Here is our number command group. And then open the dialog window of your command group. There you go. And then from the number tab, select the accounting and then set the decimal places to 2. And then inside the symbol, we select the PHP. So here you go, we have the PHP here, select this one, and then click OK. So there you go, we have now the PHP symbol for each number that we have here. And then we can resize the columns sufficient enough for our data to fit on the columns. We can just use the double click, 1, 2, so it will automatically fit on the width of the column. Double click this as well, double click this, and this one. All right, so it seems that everything is already on the proper place. So one last thing is to turn the title to bold. And finally, we will add borders. Okay, so to add borders, let's select all of our data. And then let's go back to our alignment. You can see here we have alignment. We have also here the borders. So we can open either the font dialog, alignment dialog, or the number dialog, whichever of this dialog. So let's use the font dialog. And then from here, you can see here that there's a border. Okay, select the border. Then we select the thick border, this one. So as you can notice, there is an active cursor blinking at the bottom of the border, this one. Okay, it blinks. It indicates that this will be the active border. As we click the boxes of our cell, and then we select a thinner border that we will be applying inside of our, let me choose back this one, select the thin border, click this right here and right there, and click OK. There you go. We have now a perfect border in our worksheet. All right, so that's all for this exercise. And then on the next video, we will try to create a chart using this data. See you in the next lectures.